So hello guys, today I'm gonna be talking about the Japanese language test, and of course I'm gonna be talking about this in more detailed aspect. Why do you need this Japanese language test? Well, first of all, in my previous video I talked about what is the what do you do in the exam during the exam, what's the test. So now I'm gonna be talking about the requirement for like the Japanese language school and why do you need this test. Well, first of all, this test there is the minimum requirement to pass this exam is 25% on each of the section. Like for example, reading, vocabulary, and listening. I think three section. So if you like listening or reading, maybe you fail, then there is no chance for you to pass the exam. Especially with even if you like pass the reading and vocab test in the full mark, for example, then your listening become like 24% or maybe fail, then you cannot really pass the whole exam. Well, the reason why we take this exam, especially for the N5 exam, is to really go to the Japanese language school. What they need is actually an N5 certificate or maybe 250 hours of study or 150, but 150 hours is just long, and if you have that much time, then I think you can. But if you want to a faster way to go into Japanese language school, I suggest you take this kind of test. Well, why? What is the purpose for also this test? Of course, is to let us have a standard in like the Japanese language, especially to communicate with the locals in Japan. Like in Japan, people don't really speak in English. So we need this test to really reassure that we can at least have some basics in Japanese. One of the reason why N5 is important is to for us to really also set a bar in like our studies, especially in Japanese. We don't want to just study it with not any like bar or standard. So there's also five different section in Japanese language test in all, N5, N4, N3, N2, N1. So N5 is the most basic one and N1 is the most difficult one. What they we usually need like for like a full-time work or maybe going to master degrees, taking master degrees in Japan, it will be N1 at least. You need to have the highest standard in Japanese language. However, if you are a bachelor, then it's best for you to just take until N2. But if you want to really like have more opportunities to go into the Japanese university, you can take the N1 too. Like now, so the good thing but this test is that if you take entry and you pass it before you go to Japan to the language school, because usually the language school, I don't know, like for me I know that it took at least 2 years to really finish the whole N5 to N1 plus the maths, the physics, and the science, of course, the edu test. So the good thing of having entry before going to Japan will be that you have more opportunities to really study more, be more focused on the edu test, and more importantly, if you want to find part-time work, like being I don't know any type of part-time work at Japan, it would be much easier for you to find it. However, you have to pass the interview too. But for me personally, if you have entry certificate, it would be 10 times easier than just N5, and finding a part-time job in Japan will be hell of difficult, especially when you are having like entry, people might see it like, oh, why bother having entry when you only need N5 to go to language school? Because N2 and N1 is 10 times difficult I think than N3. And personally for me, if I don't want to waste more time on the language than on the edu, because like the edu test is difficult also. So for me, if I have entry, then I can also finish the take the N2 test and finish it, and then I can study N1 while also focusing on the more important things for my university. So I think that's it. And I don't know if there's anything more for me to say about this test. I think that if you are really like into the language, like if you want to study from zero, then it's not really good for you to like use Duolingo. For me personally, I used it once and I think I regret it. The best way for you to learn it is through the books. There's a lot of books like Genki, I think from I don't know where, but then it's better for you from the books, like the legit one, the one where there's all the just Japanese and you just learn it from zero, because they will teach you from zero step by step, and it's more importantly for you to really get a really good teacher at your place. Because for me personally, if I want to really be good and to speak well with Japanese, I don't see a way for me to just study through like Duolingo app like that, because it's only teaching you on the vocab and it don't really emphasize on the, let's just say, the kanji and the hiragana katakana. They will give you kanji but they won't give you the hiragana. Like it's not that they won't give you, but even when we are not mastering the hiragana katakana, but they already give us kanji and it's difficult for me especially. But with the teacher and the books, then I can really just focus and build my level of competence in Japanese slowly one by one. So I think that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. What do you want me to talk about next? Just comment below and subscribe please. See you on next time.